So I started this channel a while ago, and it didn't have too much serious sort of content on it. It was mostly about sharing, bizarre stories, twisted stories, that sort of stuff, true crime. More recently, though, I've been looking at some YouTube channels myself, and the ones that I've taken an interest to. There's a couple of main ones, and I think there's a theme. There's probably something more serious that needs to be looked at, that needs to be talked about. So these two channels are CanAm Missing project and the Facts by How to Hunt. So the first one, CanAm Missing, if you haven't heard of the Missing 411 series of books, Google it. nabigfoot.com, I think, is the website where you can actually purchase these books. David Paulidis, he's been around for a number of years. Doing a quick bio, I wouldn't do it justice. He's an incredible researcher, and he's ex-police, and he's done a fantastic job of writing these books. He's got some movies out there on YouTube Movies and Amazon and other areas, depending on what zone you're in, what part of the world you are. But essentially, there are clusters of these missing people all around the world that have the same defined criteria of peculiar circumstances. Now, I won't go into detail with them. Please go and check out his channel for the detail. But there's more detail in the books. He highlights on his YouTube channel, he brings to light maybe 1, 2, 3, or maybe a cluster or something like that. Once or twice a week, he'll present some more cases that he has either talked about in his books, or some new cases, and how they're either related to each other or how they fit in the paradigm of this missing 411 phenomenon. There's a number of traits that occur on all of these missing people. Some of them are never found. Some of them are found in odd circumstances. Some of them are children where they might only be 2 or 3 years old, and in a period of what might seem hours, like as in 16, 20 hours, they're found miles and miles and miles and miles away, over mountains, over fences, and there's no tracks, there's no signs of how they got there. They're just there. You couldn't, an adult couldn't travel that distance in that time. This is just one of the oddities and the consistent themes of some of these missing people. Others might be that they've turned up in an area that they've searched. It might be on the track that the search and rescue, the SAR teams, go out every single day. They go out and search. They all turn left at this track and go down that area, and that's the search area that keeps on going past there. 6, 7 days into the search, the person's found on the trail. They've searched that area before. They've gone past that area a number of times. So anyway, there's a huge amount of information in David's books. There's a huge amount of information on his YouTube channel. Go over and have a look and see if there's anything that you might find. Look, it's horrific that people are going missing and not being found. Children. It could be grown men and women, elderly. It's terrible. But it is extremely intriguing to try and understand what's going on. How are these people? It's like they've been picked up. Like this mum and dad could be walking down the trail, and their kid is maybe 50 meters up the trail. They can still see them. The couple get discussing something, and they take their eyes off the kid. What occurs commonly occurs all the time. They take their eyes away from whoever it is that they should have been watching, or whatever the case might be, not intentionally. They might have been, what are we having for dinner tonight? Da 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 da. Look back, where's the kid? And that's it. They never hear any screams. They never hear any noises. Never seen again. How crazy is that? I can't fathom, being a dad myself, I can't even fathom what that would do to me if I saw that, if I experienced that. Like, wouldn't you want answers? Wouldn't you want answers? So anyway, David Paulidis, CanAm Missing project, check it out. So the second channel that I mentioned before, howtohunt.com. This channel is primarily talking about the Bigfoot, Sasquatch phenomenon. Now it's less about whether or not they exist. He's done a handful of videos showing pictures that people have taken, video footage, all of that type of thing. For him, that's not important. Whether or not they exist is irrelevant. For him and the thousands of people that have written in that are sharing these experiences, they exist. They are there. Something's going on. Nobody knows how, why, or when they're going to happen, to be, to join the club of no return, as they call it. However, his YouTube channel is focused on being able to share those stories from the people that write into him. So he's got a couple of email addresses: sharemystory@howtohunt.com and tellmystory@howtohunt.com. And basically, people write in their stories, their experiences, and share what they think, what they believe, but also just brain dumping what happened to them. It could have been 10 years ago, 20 years ago, could have been telling a story about their dad or mum or something like that. But they are genuine stories, they are their truths, and it's really, really interesting to hear this occurring. And there's, like the 411 phenomena, there's thousands and thousands of stories. So it's crazy to think that all of these people are seeing the same thing or feeling the same thing. There has to be an element of there's something that we don't understand, that we're not taught in our schools or in our standard curriculum, if you like. And that's kind of where Steve's head is at. It's not about if they exist. For him, they exist 100%. He's more focused on, why aren't we being told the whole truth? What is it out there that they're afraid that will happen if we knew that these creatures exist? What's so special about them? Why aren't they in any of our anthropology books and that sort of thing? So there's a whole bit of mystique and mystery surrounding the beings and how I call them beings. That's what they are referred to generally on the channel. Humanoids. Your mind wanders into some pretty, freaky universe when you start to use these words. But you can't talk about this sort of stuff without being mocked or laughed at, which is bizarre, because and I suppose that's why this channel exists. So these people are trying to share what they've seen. Dogman, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yetis, Yowies here in Australia, just weird, bizarre things that people are trying to discuss, but they have no one to discuss it with. So Steve's providing this outlet for them to discuss, to share their story. You can remain anonymous. You can, some people just go, I don't care. Just put my name out there. If you want to catch up, let me know. We can go hunting together, and you can see what I see, every so often when I go hunting. It's It's really all about the people, and that's what Steve's trying to get across. I don't know if he'll be on YouTube for too much longer. There's there's not, I wouldn't say threats, but there have previously been, hate mail and people that are commenting in negative, in negative connotations on his channel and things like that. So look, just head over to his channel, head over to David Paulidis at Missing 411. Do yourself a favor and just understand, just listen to the stories, listen to the knowledge that's being displayed here, and make up your own mind. If that fits in, if that gives any of your stories a little bit more, another dimension, or fills in some missing pieces to a puzzle that you've been struggling with, that could be that could be the one thing that I don't know, makes you feeling better to go back out into the wilderness, to go and hunt, or go and do bushwalking, or hiking, whatever it is that you're looking for. You might find it on Steve's channel, and likewise with the Missing 411 phenomenon. It's devastating to think that this is occurring and not more people are talking about it. There's hundreds and thousands of people all over the world that are going missing in these bizarre circumstances that fit this list of criteria. No one seems to, I don't want to say care, nobody seems to put them all together and establish the pattern that Dave Paulidis has created, and start asking the question, well, why is this happening? So yeah, have a read of Dave's books, go to their websites, go to their YouTube channels. They need all the support they can get to get everyone talking about this. Every time you go into their videos, they always ask, well, Steve not so much, David always asks you to please get the word out there. The more people we have supporting finding these missing people, the better. So that's what I'm doing here. He asks to share on your social medias and things like that. So this is my way of getting my guys, my followers and subscribers and viewers. This is my way of getting more people to go and look at their content. It's striking. It's mysterious. Just go and have a read and have a listen and watch some of their content.